So back to like the craft of writing a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you have like a practice with it or
I should in theory.
It's hard. Like
it's hard to create content. It's hard to even make enough jokes sometimes, especially when you're feeling drained. But I try to sit down and just flood with ideas and see what sticks and then start writing to which piece I feel most, inspired by or which headline or whatever. But it's hard. There's when people say they have a process down, like when Jerry Seinfeld's like, yeah, I write for 2 hours every morning. I'm kind of like, I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of creative people, that's just not how your brain works. I mean, I think it is good to have a schedule and stuff, but sometimes it just hits you out of nowhere. Like a lot of the best pieces and my favorite pieces have just been 30-minute fever dreams where I'm just like, I have this idea and I have to write it down immediately. Yeah.
There's so many levels to it.
Yeah.
Have you ever read Stephen King's On Writing?
No. I've been recommended many times, but I've just never gotten around to reading it.
It's fucking great. It talks a lot about what you've mentioned, and he did, spoiler alert, in his daily practice he did get hit by a car. He writes, he takes a nap, and he goes for a walk.
Okay, and every day he gets hit by a car.
No, just that one time. But it was part of his daily practice ended up with him getting hit by a car. So maybe your point about
maybe I'm right. Practice. Switch it up a little bit, Stephen King. Maybe you wouldn't have gotten hit by a car.
Wouldn't be in a wheelchair.
Yeah. What a loser. No, okay. Sorry, that was bad.
I think I've read pretty much every fucking book on comedy writing there is, though.
Yeah.
During the pandemic,
and some of them are so bad and trite.
But the things if anyone listening is looking to get into comedy writing,
don't encourage them.
We don't need any more competition.
Yeah.
But I love comedy writing. It's my favorite thing in this realm of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think knowing that you have that creative side of your brain and then the editor side, and not trying to do both at the same time is really important. It took me a long time to realize that, because sometimes it's the ideas are flooding. That's not the time to be how do we feel about this? It's that, just let it go.
Yeah.
And then edit, looking at your stuff and really, you can be your own editor, but there needs to be space there. It's not, you are not a good judge of if something's funny.
Well, and one of my favorite things is reading other people's stuff or stepping away from my own stuff and coming back to it later, because it is that piece of you can't be editing when you're in the idea stage. Being a creative person is already hard enough. You can't be you're hindering your creative process by not letting yourself go as wacky as you can with the joke, or just have all the ideas and then come back and be okay, it's easier to cut out and edit than to just have yourself stay in your little lane.
Yeah. That's why I kind of get bummed when sometimes you'll be at mics or shows or whatever, and you can see someone's experimenting.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't go well, it's sort of
they back off.
Well, no, there's this mindset of protecting yourself.
Right.
Oh, you that person tried that thing stupid and it didn't work out.
And it's okay, whatever. Yeah.
But there are some people that judge that. It's dude, you can't.
Yeah,
you can't expand on what you're doing unless you try something new, which inherently means that there's the potential for it to if all you're doing is protecting your ego, you're never gonna.
I think I do that. I think I did that a lot, and maybe still do, where it's you get nervous on stage because you want every set to be good, but that's just not the reality of doing stand up, And it's when I've been. Oh, there's this weird joke I want to do, but I don't think it's really for me. And it's why can't it be for me? Fuck it. No one gets to decide what your voice is except for you, So.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of kind of people comics are supposed to help each other, and it's
really?
beneficial.
First time hearing.
Like, it's like those generous ones out there.
Yeah.
But I do think there are times where it's like people are outside of their lanes and trying to like sort of tell you what you need to be doing. And none of us really know. It's like you said, like creative, anything is so difficult. And it's this subjective thing. And
it takes a long time to find your own voice, like not to be so like, about comedy, but like it is like, it's hard to be like, oh, this feels right, or this is my process, or this is what I enjoy talking about on stage, you know? And then it's like, and when that changes for you, that's also okay. You know, so.
Well, if you don't write for 2 hours a day,
then
a
you're
fucking
fucked.
piece of shit. You know, you're not Jerry Seinfeld.
You should quit.
Who's for everyone. You know, like it's.
Yeah, he very clearly has not, like, to have 2 hours free every morning. He's not taking care of the kids. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I mean, that's the benefit of being with someone that's like 30 years younger than you, that you can just tell what to do.
Yeah, his advice is so stupid. Like, sorry, but like, it's just not practical advice for people.
For sure.
You know? And I just, it's silly.